What is up, guys? Welcome to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the GoPro Hero 8 Black. Now I know there is a GoPro Hero 9 that is currently out, but I've got the Hero 8 Black and I thought I better just give my opinion on this action camera compared to the others that I have seen out on the market at the current time. So first of all, we're going to start off with the fact that it's got a huge lens on the front which you cannot take off. Now, I heard that this was a big problem for some people as they're very hard on their action cameras and they do tend to break their lenses. I'm not sure why GoPro did this, whether they did it as a marketing fail to try and get people to buy the whole new GoPro instead of just a cheaper lens, or whether people were starting to go towards aftermarket lenses instead of using theirs, so they tried to maybe cut back on that. I'm not sure why they did that, but I felt it was very dodgy as they already came up with the ability to take the lenses off and then they took that away. So we're just going to go through the front, the sides, the bottom, the back, everything, and then we're going to jump into specs and my opinion. So on the front here, we are going to have the big lens that is going to be on it, and we're also going to have the microphone underneath. Coming over to the other side, we're going to have a little LCD screen, which at the moment is telling me how long I've been recording for, what I'm recording in, and what function it is in, my battery, and my SD card size. Well, what is left on my SD card. Coming underneath, we're going to have the GoPro logo. We're going to have the GoPro Hero 8 logo. Underneath is going to be the power button. Coming over to the other side, we're going to have a little pull down tab, which when you open, it's going to have your battery, a little plug-in slot, and your micro SD card section. People did have problems with the micro SD and trying to get it out. I recommend taking the battery out first and then getting it out, as you should be taking your battery out after use anyway, just so you can recharge them and also so you can not drain your battery, as I've personally had an issue where if I keep the battery in, it does drain while it's turned off or in standby. Coming to the top, we're going to have your shutter button. You press once for it to start recording and press again for it to stop. Coming to the bottom, we're going to have these little tabs that you can just quickly pull out, and that's going to be them. This is where you're going to be putting your tripods, stands, any type of GoPro accessory which has the little pin through attachment. Coming to the actual camera itself, to the LCD screen, we're going to have a nice looking decent LCD. I'm going to cover up that lens just so you can kind of see. Now if I stop recording, it's going to stop, load, it's going to beep. We're going to come to this now. I shoot in 4K 60 frames per second in the linear function, as I find it is a lot more smoother. It's a lot more smaller instead of a wide angle, which takes out quite some detail in the wide angle. I also have it in slow-mo, which I prefer to do most of my shooting in on the GoPro. The battery does drain pretty quickly, and it uses up a lot of the micro SD card storage size, so just keep that in mind, as it isn't as very proficient as maybe a Insta360 or a more high-end camera. So coming into the actual screen here, you can set these little preset functions around the side to be whatever you want, and then down the bottom you're going to have your different preset functions, which you've got standard, action, cinematic, and slow-mo, which I always just shoot in standard 4K 60 frames per second in linear and in slow-mo. You also have the setting to push the power button. Just push it and it will come up with different functions. So there's photo, video, and time lapse that you can choose from. I have not used the time lapse I've used the photo and I do not recommend using the photo if you're trying to get any decent photo for maybe a client, for maybe it's just your everyday photo, like everyday photography or something. I wouldn't recommend it as it isn't very good at photos, as it is an action camera and it's probably not going to be the best action camera for the price range. So this is going to be in my room right now. This is going to be my camera here. It isn't letting me exposure onto the camera just due to the fact that that really bright light is there. I'm having to look at you on my viewfinder on my Canon just so I can see what's going on the screen because it doesn't have its own viewfinder. Alright guys, so this is going to be the microphone. I am not very impressed with the microphone as I find it is kind of, it's very like trebly and it doesn't have a lot of bass to it. It doesn't amplify my voice as much as I would like it to, and it picks up on a lot of background noise. If a truck drove past my window right now, it would directly pick up the truck sound and amplify it over my voice as it's done before. Something like a Rhodes microphone or just a normal Canon camera microphone would be a better option for you guys. As you can see, the 60 frames per second is super smooth and the 4K is actually pretty detailed. I do not have my exposure set on this camera and my white balance and everything, so please excuse that, as I really didn't want to set this up and show how perfect you can shoot, as there's a heap of other videos out there for that. This is just a quick rundown and a quick opinionated video on what I think about this camera. So we're going to jump back over to the Canon and I'm going to sum up the video. Alright guys, so as you saw there, this is going to be the GoPro Hero 8 camera footage. I would have to say I'm super excited to find out what they're going to be doing in the GoPro Hero 9. Whether it's going to be a better future for GoPro or if you should go with Insta360 instead. I'm going to be getting an Insta360 camera pretty soon. I'm going to be doing some reviews on it, talking about my opinion on whether it's worth it or not. And I'm super excited about that because I want to get some super amazing footage. But for now, we're going to stick with the GoPro Hero 8 Black, as it's probably the first action camera I've ever had. And hopefully it won't be my last. Alright guys, I'm super excited to release this video, as it's been over 2 months trying to get it out, trying to get it done. But it's finally done and out of the way. So thanks for coming guys, and I will catch you guys next week.